Hello, friends, and welcome into another weekly update from our team here at NC Family. I'm Mitch, joined by John and Jerry. We've got a lot to get to for this week, ending June the 12th. It has been a busy week at the General Assembly, so most of this video will be an update from the General Assembly, including some really fun news here at the end of the episode. Gentlemen, let's jump right into four specific bills that were heard this past week at the General Assembly, some notable things that you will want to know about. HB 301, it's social media protections for children, and some AI instruction mechanisms, specifically in public schools and DPI. Gentlemen, this has passed the Senate and is now on to the House for a motion to concur. A little bit of technical jargon. These guys do a lot better job of explaining that. What do we need to know about HB 301?
Well, I know we've described the bill before. It started out in the House with a focus on social media protections, saying that there needed to be parental consent for 14 and 15-year-olds, and then for 13 and under, no access. Mm-hmm. Now, the bill at that point did define what social media was, went over to the Senate, and they added the word addictive social media, added a little bit more to the definition of what's required. We hope that that strengthens the law and the protections for minors. And the bottom line of this overall effort, too, is to help with parental controls. Yes. And have parental consent required. What also happened on the Senate side, some additions relating to artificial intelligence. What needs to be taught in the school systems, what policies need to be in place, which, again, are good things that we hope are going to protect our children from what we all continue to hear are incredible harms in the access that they currently have.
And on the AI provisions, yes. Jerry, the bill would, as it stands now, would require the State Board of Education to adopt age-appropriate standards for instruction on artificial intelligence literacy for grades K through 12, including the responsible and ethical use of AI, limitations of AI tools, evaluation and verification of outputs provided by AI tools, data and privacy concerns related to AI tools, and best practices and safety when interacting with AI or AI chatbots. So the bill, the incorporation of AI protections and directives to the State Board of Education to adopt a policy regarding that is sort of spelled out in detail in the bill. It also would require local boards of education, so in your local school districts, to adopt AI use policies for students and staff. And it would also task the Friday Institute for Educational Innovation at NC State to design, produce, and support implementation of a suite of training modules and other training resources for public school teachers that they would be required to take as professional development once these things are put out, should this bill pass. Yes. In this form. Yeah. So a lot of attention given to AI and incorporating instruction about AI and warnings, quite frankly, Absolutely. About AI and the potential harms for students within the public school system.
All right. One other note, and this is hopefully a beginning, and we heard Yes. that in the debate this week when it was passed in the Senate. One amendment in particular was a very long amendment that looked like it had a lot of good additions, including moving the ages even Yes. higher, Yes. because they're going, wait a minute, I think we need to be protecting even older children, not just, starting at the 13 sure. saying no access. So, as always, this is a legislative process. This hopefully is a good beginning, but also there will be more to follow.
Well, and it does remain pretty fluid yes, at this point. And Mitch, as you said, this bill, it's a House bill that's returning now to the House after incorporating the Senate's changes, and the House will vote either to concur or accept the Senate changes or not to concur, which is more likely the case, which means they would then send the bill to a conference committee where members of the House and Senate would be appointed to kind of work through differences in the bill, the different chambers' versions of the bill. So still has a way to go, but hopefully during this short session, the legislature is going to pass something that will put age restrictions on the use of social media and also, again, pass some provisions regarding AI protections in public schools.
Well, our team is right in the middle of this, literally every step of the way, talking with the bill sponsors, and we will keep you up to date as we know information about this cutting-edge bill that will protect children, possibly even in your home. Speaking of good steps, or good first steps, let's talk about SB 59. It's a bill that would eliminate or make it illegal to sell or possess or consume hemp, hemp-derived consumables, hemp-derived cannabinoids, and then kratom and synthetic kratom were added to the bill for children, minors, under the age of 21. That's a lot. These gentlemen have a much better way of explaining that than I do. So, John, what do people need to know about this bill? And I tell you what, let's go to Jerry. You're the resident expert on this, specifically with the marijuana debate over the years. This bill, it's a good first step, but it's a little concerning as we wade through it.
All right. Well, and I know we've mentioned a lot of this before, the focus for many years has been on marijuana. But as you've all seen, and I know just driving back from the legislature today, within a mile of our office, 3 of these businesses, it tells you, wait a minute, how does this community support, just in that small area, these businesses? Obviously, they're selling a lot of products. What this bill is an attempt, and the House and the Senate have had different versions, have not been able to agree. So the way this was presented this week was, okay, this is something hopefully everybody can agree on, is that if you are under 21, you cannot have access to these products. And people can't sell it to you, you can't possess it, and that there are criminal penalties for that. Interestingly, our take on it is this seems like a good step in the right direction, but our concern is if it's harmful to people under 21, why should we make it accessible to those who are over 21?
It's harmful for all North Carolinians.
Yeah, and this is, again, it's people making an attempt to make some progress, because people keep saying children can still walk into these businesses, no age limit, and they're buying things. And again, quick side note is last year, in I think November, you may have seen in Wake County, they got over 1,000 pounds of these products from a distributor and tested them, because people were saying, my child is coming home with all these different symptoms. Well, they found a large percentage of these products had an illegal level of THC, and they weren't properly labeled. These things are not tested or regulated. Everybody's going, something needs to be done. Our take is, like the federal proposal that passed last November, that in theory hopefully will go into effect this November, it will basically take all these products off the shelves of these businesses.
Well, that's what we would very much like to see. This bill was brought up on Wednesday in the House Agriculture Committee. One of the co-chairs of that committee, Jimmy Dixon, presented the bill and basically said, look, putting an age limit of 21 on these is what everybody should agree with and does agree with or seems to agree with. And this is really the low-hanging fruit. Yeah. This is a step that we have to take in order to protect the youngest of our citizens, and then we can look at other things in the future, which I think from his standpoint is a very genuine and legitimate concern. For some others, maybe not so much, but putting an age restriction of 21 on the purchase and possession of these drugs is what this proposal would do. So we're very hopeful that at the very least this will move forward, but our great encouragement to the legislature is, as you have said, because these products are harmful to individuals under 21, they're harmful to individuals over 21 as well, and we need to just ban them outright altogether. But we need to get at least this measure enacted now to protect our youngest citizens against the harms of these products.
So our team put together an article about this bill. You can read it in the link below. The link that's provided below. Go to our website, ncfamily.org. HB 83, real quick, guys. This bill was birthed out of a situation in the state of North Carolina where a gentleman, well, not a gentleman, an older man sent some terrible pictures to a young lady. The penalties weren't high enough in order to go get the guy from a different state. And so this bill would enhance penalties that would enhance penalties for sending these inappropriate pictures. And we're going to get to all the things that have been added here in just a second. That was the genesis of the bill. It would enhance penalties for distributing harmful content to a minor. It's gone to the Senate. The Senate has added some things in judiciary. What are those things, and what do we need to know about them?
Yeah, Mitch, the bill basically proposes some changes to state laws regarding the dissemination of obscene material and harmful material to minors as those are defined in state law. Most notably, the bill would require the court to consider in these cases whether the person convicted of these crimes is a, quote, danger to the community and should have to register as a sex offender in North Carolina. The bill also includes provisions that would enhance training and reporting related to human trafficking. So a different section of the bill, but something that's also important with respect to this sort of material.
So it's kind of taken on more of an omnibus package of different things as it goes along the way.
Which seems to be the case with a lot of bills.
Imagine that. Yeah. And it has passed, it went from Senate Judiciary and now has passed Senate rules. It will go to the floor. So it's headed to the Senate floor, presumably next week.
Right. And just as y'all are saying, we're finding as the time is drawing shorter, that this is happening on both sides of the aisle. If it's looking like something's not going to be brought up, they're going to another member in the other chamber saying, hey, can I add my bill to your bill and hopefully get it through?
Or they're just doing that without asking in some cases.
Lastly, gentlemen, a good bill, I think it's a good bill, HB 1121, that would add a fee for sexual-oriented businesses. This was heard in the House Judiciary 1 committee this week. It's a bill that's been introduced that basically would add a fee to those who are going into these businesses. It's a $10 fee, and then those fees would go to other organizations who are trying to help people across the state. What more do we need to know about this bill currently?
Well, it's definitely something that, it's tragic that what is happening in these businesses in some ways is considered speech or even art, some forms of expression that are protected by our Constitution. That's a sad reality, but we saw this years ago when we worked on zoning laws. What the courts would say is, well, no, you can't stop this expression, but if there's related activity, and it's referred to as secondary harmful effects, what happened with zoning laws, we can say you can't have these businesses near schools or near churches or near neighborhoods that would push them out of areas where there's more activity with different citizens driving by or walking by. So what the effort is here is to say, similarly, we know these businesses have these harmful effects. When you put together the activity that's going on, the alcohol consumption along with that when you're looking at public health, safety, and welfare, it makes sense if we can put call it nominal fee that would help address what these secondary effects are. And there are different organizations, ministries who help with people who've experienced the harms from these businesses. So that's where these resources would go. There wasn't, fortunately, much pushback, but there was a little bit where people are kind of going, well, this is protected speech. Again, that's a sad reality of how some people interpret what the word speech and expression means as our Constitution says. But thankfully, God has given wisdom to people to say, okay, but the courts have recognized if we've got harmful effects going on with this, yes, things can be done to address the harmful effects.
Yes, sir. And this bill has been introduced by Representative Dennis Riddell of Alamance County. We really appreciate his efforts on this. He's been a real champion for it and continues to pursue this. So hopefully it will pass and have a positive effect. Just specifically, it would direct the funds, this $10 entrance additional fee for people entering sexually oriented businesses. It would direct the funds to the Sexual Assault and Rape Crisis Center Fund. And the bill recognized in the finding sections, which you were referring to, Jerry, that there are adverse secondary effects that make this a legitimate place to direct those funds.
Absolutely.
To address very unfortunate circumstances that take place.
Who knows? Maybe we could make the penalty, the tax, the fee $1 million and raise a lot. Yeah. Fun news out of the building this week, gentlemen. It was free ice cream day thanks to our friends at the Howling Cow, part of NC State University, and they had a milk chugging contest as well. I can report the Senate did win the milk chugging contest again. There are members of the House that speculate there may have been some foul play involved. So I'll leave that to the interwebs for you to see yourself. Did you get free ice cream?
I did, and it was very good. And knowing that it was NC State, really, you felt like, hey, this is great.
Local ice cream at its finest. The cookies and cream's what I got. Did you get any?
I did not.
He did not. He refrained.
I refrained.
John's being good.
Trying to.
Congratulations. I was not, and it was good.
A little extra levity yesterday when the speaker at the end of the session was maybe lamenting that the Senate has won a number of years in a row, and I think he said, well, we're going to try to something like mix it up next year and maybe use raw milk in the contest, which may affect the outcome if they do make that change.
Wow, that could be different.
It will be quite controversial nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hot topic. We're going to leave that there. Speaking of hot topics, you won't want to miss the latest episode of The Truths We Hold. It's a series that our team has put together. I have the opportunity to host it alongside of the brilliant, the amazing Adama Manfra, who's our research and education director, where we're looking in on those truths that we hold specifically around the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In July, we're doing a special July 4th episode on the Declaration of Independence. You're not going to want to miss it. Adamo and I take apart the Declaration and we look at those truths and then what our founders, our framers, pledged to each other and what they sacrificed so that we could talk about it 250 years later. It's awesome. You're not going to want to miss it, not because of me. Adamo does a great job. And so you can go to our website, ncfamily.org, to see that.
I bet we can even do better than that and put a link to the page dedicated to the Truths We Hold video series below this video.
Perfect.
So that all you have to do is click on that link there and you can go to that page and view all of these really wonderful videos.
I like it. Along with our dinner guests that we've had in Charlotte. Yeah, I'm sorry, no, in Raleigh and in Greenville. Thank you. Yeah.
But thank you for your humility. But having watched the videos, I will say both people are excellent. And it is, every one of them I watch, I'm learning more and more.
It's been a privilege and an honor to do them. And so, hey, join in what we're doing. And if you would like to learn more about what we do, you can go to ncfamily.org. I hit the 3 times today to learn more about what we do and partner with us to make a difference across the state of North Carolina. So, John, Jerry, I'm Mitch. Anna Scott's right behind the camera. As always, thank you for watching this week's Weekly Update. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. God bless you.